Hello, welcome. I'm going to play Monopoly on the Sega Master System. This is indeed a translation of the board game, which probably sounds boring, but I think it's a great translation and it's a solid game to play. So when you start up, you can play a saved game or a new game. Now, I think it's kind of surprising this has a battery backup. Not a lot of games did on the Master System. Usually you just get them in role-playing games. So this can save one game at a time, but it still works surprisingly too, because 30 years old, kind of figure the batteries would die out. I haven't used this game in a long time, but my saved game is indeed still there. But I'm going to start a new game. So you can play up to 10 players, and I'll cycle through the tokens here. I'll tell you what the animations are, because I'm only going to select a few. I'll go with 2 computer opponents. The first one here is the hat. That floats and then just drops on the space that you land on. The iron slides, but it does give off a little bit of steam to make it look like it's moving. And the train, I'm going to play as the train, so you'll see that one. It's a really nice piece. You got the wheels, the steam, and even a little light on the front that blinks. The dog just walks forward. I'm going to give the computer a horse, which looks very similar animation, but a bit more. The car rolls forward. So there's the horse. This one, the feet, the tail, and the cowboy all move, which you'll see. The cannon, which rolls, of course, it's on wheels. The thimble, most boring piece, isn't it always? It just tilts a little bit and slides forward. Wheelbarrow raises up a bit and rolls forward. I'm going to give the other computer player the boot, because it's the funniest looking piece. So that's it for tokens. Now, it does say 10 players, but I don't think there's 10 tokens here. Maybe there are. Alright, there are. Well, it seemed like there were less. So, I'm going to take the train. Of course, you could name yourself. You only get 7 characters, though. And no numbers, so I can't use the channel name. Yeah, the computer players have 3 difficulty settings. I'm going to make this one intermediate. And give the boot the beginner level. And I'm going to set a time limit because, like I said, Monopoly can be long. And I want to show the full game so you can see the end screen. It's just a still image, but some nice music and shows the rankings. So I'll go 20 minutes. Now you can see all the details on the board. Yeah, I rolled a 5. I will not be going first. I will be going last. And they already rolled doubles. So here you can see each piece, how they move. This one and the train are probably the 2 best pieces. I can speed it up, but I'll just let you watch a little bit of each one in their first turn. It was a really nice looking game. The Monopoly board does have a light tint to it. So this one might be a little too green, but otherwise it looks really good. I just think the boot looks funny because it's basically trying to walk. Everything is easy to read. Yeah, they make full use of the screen. Computer's a little slow, but I can tap the button to kind of make things move faster. Alright, so before I take my first turn here, I'm going to show you all the menu options. You can buy and sell properties once you own them. You can also trade them. You know, pay off mortgage for properties that you have to mortgage. Mortgage properties, get out of jail. That is, of course, when you're in jail, you can just pay to get out. Then display deeds. will show the token icon in each property that's owned. So only one has been purchased so far, so you can see the boot down there on the first street. And then under options, you get a bunch of game options, like outside of the actual board game, menu type options here, settings. If you set the scroll off, then you don't have to watch the tokens move. They'll just automatically go to the space for the number they roll on the dice. So it makes the game go much faster. Of course, I already have a timer on. I'm not assuming that's what that is and not a turn timer. You can turn the music off. I'll just leave it on here. This convert player is really another great option to go with the battery backup. You can switch any computer player to human during the game, or switch any human to a computer. So if you're playing with a friend, the game gets too long, they don't want to finish it, you just change them to a computer player. This is really, you gotta think back, this is an 8-bit system. There aren't a lot of board games available on video game systems back then, and to give a battery backup and the ability to convert players, that's really good, I think. So then you can just end the game, save the game, switch to the save game. Ooh, the electric company. So I think this is the best piece in the game. I'm always the train. I like to get also like to get the railroad properties. It's not why I play the train, I just think it looks good, but I like the train properties because you can get good rent if you get them all. Of course, there's one on each part of the board. You get 4 of them, so they have a good chance of being landed on. So if the computer gets one, I'll try to buy it off them. They'll probably double the price. Or I'll speed it up. Oh, look at that. Already landed on my property. Usually when you start a game of Monopoly, you just buy every property you can. If you don't want to buy it, it goes up for auction. The other computer players will just bid back and forth on it, and someone will probably get a good deal. Wow, they're getting doubles a lot. If they roll them 3 times in a row, they go to jail. Oh, they gotta get out of free. So it doesn't even matter, but they didn't get doubles. It's basically a little animation for everything. So going to jail, there's one. Getting out of jail, there's one. Building a house, there's one. Hopefully I can show you all of those in the 20-minute time frame here. If you don't like the board game, yeah, you're not gonna like this. Man, people are landing on my properties. Pretty good. I think I made it past the jail. But if you like Monopoly, this is about as good as you're gonna get, especially in the 80s. I mean, yeah, today they're much more detailed. The latest versions I've tried, and of course the graphics are more detailed. The board, you can make it look alive with like a city background, and you can customize boards. But in the 80s and then even into the 90s, on a console, it's probably the best version of Monopoly you'd find. I don't think I think there's one on the Genesis, but I never played it. So here we go. Go to jail. They'll probably pay to get out. Yeah, I mean, it's early in the game, so you don't want to sit in jail while there's properties to be purchased. Yeah, so I was saying, there were, of course, eventually Monopoly versions on computers, so those imagine are easier to play or have more options perhaps. I know they made a Star Wars one as well. Like a Star Wars CD-ROM Monopoly. But for 1988, I think this is a really great game. I was looking online, just when I was looking up a few things to find out the developer. All I could find was Nexa Corporation. I'm not familiar with that company, but I guess that's probably correct. And Sega published this, as it did almost every Master System game. There's not too many third parties. Although I think Parker Brothers, I think, was a publisher on Master System, but this one is published by Sega. What I came across though, there's some, a lot of the reviews are more recent, and it's hard to, like when the internet exploded and everyone was just doing their own retro game sites and stuff. I think it's hard to review old games because you really got to put yourself back in that time frame and not be influenced by how advanced things are today. I actually did review this game. I wasn't very good at writing reviews. That was like 10 years after the game came out. So you'll see my name out there. They landed on the railroad, I believe. I think I rated this higher than anybody. Yeah, my name's on Wikipedia. Someone quoted me on there. Yeah, but hey, I don't regret saying it's a great game because it is. I don't know why everyone else was hard on it. I think people just don't like Monopoly in general that reviewed the game. There's very little wrong with this. I wanted to buy that railroad, but I don't have enough money to buy it off the player. I think this also works really good on the Game Gear if you have a converter. Oh, we landed on that again. It looks fine on the Game Gear screen. I know there's a lot of text, but I played this on the go quite a bit. Again, with the backup save, it's perfect for playing on the go. Oops, I'm interrupting there. There's not a lot of movement too. Sometimes it's hard to play portable games. I can't afford it. I was paying attention. I'm $6 short. Good mortgage. Let me sell. Let me see what happens. Let me sell the red property. See if the computer will pay something crazy for it. If there's a faster, oop, yeah, it can go up by 10, alright. I don't know what I paid for it. Let's just go with... Your player's not interested. Alright, I'll just mortgage it. I only need a few bucks. I wasn't really paying attention to the properties. It looked like I might have close to enough to start building houses. I think it was the orange it looked like I had. It's gonna be tough to get that in a 20-minute game, but... Oh, here's some rent for me. I shall try. Alright, a railroad. Can I afford it? Nope. Oh, boy. This mortgage is a green. Don't love mortgaging properties, but I don't want to pass up anything this early in the game either. I don't care if I lose, I just wanted to show you the end screen, which is why I put the time limit on there. Computer has a lot of money, but they must not own much. So the one bad thing about this game that can happen is when the computer really wants a property you own, they bother you a lot. You know, my mortgage cost me there. It's like they'll keep, and they have to cycle through the menus, so you'll have to watch them keep cycling to the buy property and then move the dot around the board to select the property, and then try to buy your property. And I mean, if you want to sell it, fine, but if you don't, they're probably going to bother you every single turn. It just goes on and on. That gets to be a real hassle. I'm collecting good rent. I would have collected if I didn't mortgage the green, but I'm still a bit low on funds here. Do I need to land on that first orange, I think? Oh, I might have gotten it. Yeah, I own all the oranges. Awesome. Now I could buy a house, maybe? I don't know how much they cost. There you go. Just the guy hammering on a house. You'll see it on the board as well. I don't think I'll have enough to get to hotels. Okay, he'll show you the house. It should be right in front of him. Yeah, there it is. Well, I'm very low on money. Monopoly, the game, is quite old. Started in the early 1900s. Man, someone landed on my mortgage property twice. Yeah, self-published game. It's called The Landlord's something. Landlord's Game? No, doesn't sound right. I forget the name, but Parker Brothers didn't publish it until the 1930s. I think I hit something I didn't mean to. Oh, I'm not paying attention while I'm talking. Oh boy. Yeah, I shouldn't have bothered buying that. Well, I could just sell this. That guy's bound to want it. Let's see if he'll go for it. Yeah, he went for it. Yeah, so Parker Brothers published it in the 1930s, named it Monopoly. Of course, now this guy's gonna buy a bunch of houses on the yellows. You can see on the board there too, the one where my house is and the M's where the mortgage is. The game keeps a lot of details. It makes it easy to see them all. Interesting note though, I wouldn't think it has anything to do with Sega publishing Monopoly, but Tonka acquired Parker Brothers in 1987. And this game was released in 1988, so it must have been in development before that. But Tonka was also the North American distributor of the Sega Master System and its games. So it was already working with Sega, and then Sega published a game based on its property. But nobody's landed on Park Place yet. Hardly landing on the railroads, too. He just landed on the electric company a third time, I think. Unless it was the other computer player the first time, but it's been landed on 3 times after me. It's not that I'm even a huge fan of the board game Monopoly, but I really think this is a good game. Plus, it helps that you don't have to manage the money or the mortgages or anything. The computer will do it all for you. Well, I got one railroad, finally. 2 are still unclaimed. And I've probably played this version here more than the board game and more than any other computer version. I wish I could build more houses, but my funds are quite low. I still got those mortgages I could pay off. I wonder if they'll... See, they generally will only want the property if they can match it up, but could take a chance and try to sell more properties. 20-minute time limit's probably coming up anyway. Wonder if they'll go for a mortgage property. Probably not. Could also try trading. Let me try... You can buy a get out of jail card. I don't really know why you'd want to, since you can just pay your way out when it happens. Try trading. See if anyone will go for it. Try trading that for the railroad. No deal. But you can only do 1-for-1 trade, which makes it a little more difficult to pull off. If I land at another property that isn't bought and it's one I don't want, could try doing an auction. Oh, there's the time limit. I actually won. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't sure if I was in the lead because the cash is so low, but I guess I own a lot of stuff. It's some nice music. Real cool screen. They'll show a leaderboard too, high scores. Well, not high scores, but for the game, they'll show the ranking of each player. See, I have a lot of assets, even though my cash is terrible. Alright, so that's Monopoly on the Sega Master System. Thanks for watching.